And this memorial has been here since 2001 when it was dedicated then with George W. Bush here on site back then.
Yes,
John, you were here as well,
here for that, yes.
Reporting live. But this is not something that we should take for granted, being here right here in Bedford.
Yeah, a lot of other places wanted to have Washington, D.C. They talked about a lot of different options for where would we put a D-Day memorial if one was ever built. And of course, a local man named Bob Slaughter insisted that it needed to be here, it needed to be in Bedford because of the sacrifices that Bedford made, and eventually he was proven right. On the morning of D-Day, the boys from Bedford had almost no chance. They had drawn orders to attack Omaha Beach. Among the first wave of soldiers on the beach, they were easy targets for the Germans, who fired with 3 MG-42 machine guns at over 1,000 rounds per second. The Germans also had 24 snipers firing from shelter and at hidden positions. In the water, the landing craft bringing the soldiers to the beach, along with some of the tanks that might have protected them, faced difficulties with high tides and sandbars. There was nothing for A Company to do but storm ahead into the teeth of the German defenses. By now, the story is well known. Of the more than 4,000 Allied troops who died, 19 were from Bedford, more per capita than any other place in America, and the reason the memorial is here. The reason, perhaps, there's a memorial at all.
D-Day was, it was forgotten. My buddies, I'm doing this for, the ROANOKErs that got killed.
Through sheer persistence, Slaughter's campaign paid off. Bedford was selected for the memorial. Contractors, heavy equipment, and a $25 million budget converted local farmland into Operation Overlord. It was dedicated on June 6, 2001, with Slaughter accompanying President George W. Bush. Then President Bush reflecting on why Bedford was just the right place.
Upon this beautiful town fell the heaviest share of American losses on D-Day. 19 men from a community of 3,200, 4 more afterwards. When people come here, it is important to see the town as the monument itself. This is the place they left behind, and here was the life they dreamed of returning to. You have raised a fitting memorial to D-Day, and you have put it in just the right place. Not on a battlefield of war, but in a small Virginia town.
And here in this small Virginia town, about 60,000 people still come every year to see this memorial. And Lindsay, today, those numbers would be greatly inflated.
Absolutely, yeah. It was 10,000 here today. According to the National D-Day Memorial, they said at least 10,000. Almost every seat was packed here, and they had folks in the overflow and then some of the staging areas where they were watching a Jumbotron. But it was really interesting when I was talking to town officials. They had mentioned that a lot of people from Normandy and from France come over here, and they come specifically to see Bedford and visit this memorial. So it's very interesting talking about them, the town trying to cater to these visitors, because Normandy does a really good job of welcoming Americans over there and thanking them for what they did for that country. So
but this is where they come when they come to the United States, and they do, and they come to Bedford. And we heard President Trump actually mention the Bedford boys in his remarks in Normandy this morning.
Yeah, so it's very interesting.
Right.